Good afternoon and welcome to the May 24th edition of Omega Mondays. I'm Rebecca Mosley, and with me is our Star Wars editorial content director and West Coast correspondent, Mike Celestino. Hey, Mike.
Hello.
How's it been going?
Busy.
Yeah.
I've been going to all the parks. Been reading a lot of Star Wars books that I'm not allowed to talk about yet.
Lots on the horizon, huh?
Yes. Tomorrow I can talk about the Star Wars book I have been reading, so
Very cool.
look for that.
Well, we get to start off today talking about the latest edition of the Bad Batch. I believe that this particular episode was entitled Cornered.
Yes, and this is the one that features Ming-Na Wen as Fennec Shand, the bounty hunter or assassin or mercenary introduced in The Mandalorian, and now this is like 30 maybe 35 years earlier. No, is that right? I don't know. I can't do the math anymore. This takes place after the rise of the Empire, obviously, and the Mandalorian is later on in the timeline. But here we see Fennec Shand working for. We don't know who she's working for, actually. They didn't reveal that, so we don't know who she's working for. But she's tracking down the Bad Batch, and she mostly wants Omega. As they've stopped for like a supply run on this planet. Which planet were they on now? I forget. I think it was called Abrigado. No, that's in the comic book. I'm getting all my Star Wars confused. I've consumed so much of it this past
Is it
week.
Pantora?
Yes, Pantora, which is the blue species that George Lucas plays in one of the prequels. He has a cameo appearance as a Pantoran. And you see them in the episode, the cops, the space cops that are the blue guys riding those speeder bike things are Pantorans.
Oh, okay. Okay. Your knowledge is much broader than mine, so
Yeah, but I'm getting everything's getting jumbled up in my head because I just keep cramming more and more Star Wars in there, and it's getting all mixed up.
Well, this week's episode, they were on this planet, kind of hiding out. Omega wanted to do more exploring, but they decided that because there's a bounty out for them, it's best that they land here and then do their supply run and get some rations and everything. And among the moments that I enjoyed was the little clone trooper toy. It kind of reminded me of some of the items we've seen at the Toydarian, but yet this was a clone trooper. Which have we seen a clone trooper at the Toydarian? I don't feel like we've seen like traditional stormtrooper.
Yeah. Well, I think it's meant to harken back to Rogue One with the toy that Jyn Erso has, the Stormtrooper, which they do sell at the Toydarian toy maker. But no, they don't have the clone trooper that you can buy that I've seen yet.
Oh, your colleague Mike Mack says he knows how you feel, except within the world of Marvel.
Right.
So as part of the episode, let's see. Omega gets distracted. Her toy kind of is picked up by this little cute, cuddly dog-like figure, and starts to travel away. And she begins to chase after it, and she ends up in the company of Fennec Shand.
Yes. Although, like I said, we don't know why. We don't know who has hired Fennec Shand to capture Omega. The assumption is it's either the Empire or the Kaminoans, but I've seen other people have different theories about that.
And and Hunter, of course, goes after her, right? He wants to know he wants to watch out for Omega, so he tracks her down, and he ends up in a street fight with Fennec Shand.
Yep, and she kind of overpowers him. She knocks him unconscious and continues her pursuit of Omega. But they get away in the end, as they do.
Overall, what did you think? I mean, because I know previously when we've discussed Bad Batch, it's been a concern that it feels very reminiscent of Mandalorian. Not that those aren't, not that it's not good storytelling, but it's just
Right.
so familiar.
I think I think this is the episode that kind of solidified my feelings on the Bad Batch, being that I'm going to be kind of lukewarm on the series overall. Um, I like the first episode quite a bit. Since then, they've all been kind of so-so to me, which is how I feel for the most part about the Clone Wars. And this is a Clone Wars spin-off, so that kind of makes sense. I think it's going to be like the Clone Wars to me was about like maybe 15-20% good stuff and then like 80% filler, and then I think like the Bad Batch is probably going to be the same way. I don't feel like I'm going to be rewatching these episodes a bunch in the way I do The Mandalorian or
Right.
this is all, yeah, it's just all kind of lukewarm to me.
I can understand that. I'm enjoying the character of Omega, watching her interaction with the team. In this episode, I particularly enjoyed the humor with Echo, because Echo is the one that was having the most kind of had been so deeply misused by the bad guys, and there was kind of a rehabilitative nature to his story arc. And so then in this episode, to see him posed as a, like, forced to pretend to be a droid and kind of
Oh
standing
yeah.
up for himself a little bit. It was fun. It was a little bit of fun humor, knowing what he'd been through. For me, I was happy to see a bunch of new droids introduced, because, as we have talked about before, I am a sucker for astromech droids. So I was happy to see a few of those highlighted. So yeah. So for me, it was a win. You have a child hanging from a high structure that has to be saved. You have astromech droids. It's all good. It's all good.
Yeah, that B story with Echo was pretty funny. People have been freaking out over that little astromech with the arms.
Yes. Yes.
So I get that. Hope he gets an action figure at some point. But yeah, other than that, I mean, I'm guessing Fennec Shand will come back later on in the season. But other than that, it doesn't feel too consequential to me, this whole episode. But
And as Zach points out, another thing that we get to see within the context of these Bad Batch stories is just how quickly kind of the switch happened when Palpatine, in essence, in many ways, kind of reveals his ultimate self, and that switch occurs. Just
yeah,
how quickly the Empire came into power. You see people having to turn, have their block. Well, see, I want to call it blockchain, but that's not what it was. It was
chain
your
code.
chain code. Yeah. Okay. It's so bad. Every time they say it, I hear blockchain in my head, which is not good. So,
um,
so
yeah,
yeah.
and then they're also having to trade in their currency for Imperial credits already.
Which, as we know, Mike's already traded in his currency for Batu and
I know.
Spiro.
Yeah, and
So,
I still haven't. I have it right here. My Spira. I haven't taken. I mean, I took it out to look at it, but I haven't taken it to the park.
so
I should have spent it on this, which we're going to talk about in a minute. But I guess when Oga's Cantina reopens, I'll bring it and
there
I'll
you
plunk
go.
it down on the.
There you go. Oh, Zach falls into the Kaminoans have hired
Yeah.
Omega, so we shall see if that's
Well,
how it bears out.
Alex from Star Wars Explained had a theory that it might be Crimson Dawn hiring Fennec Shand to track down Omega, meaning that we could see Dryden Voss show up, the character played by what's his name, Vision, Paul Bettany, in this season, which would be interesting.
Mm-hmm. So, Mike, are you ready? Should we move on to your comic book this week?
Yeah, I guess I don't know. I feel guilty because this is supposed to be like a Bad Batch recap show, but like I don't feel like there's that much to say about most of these episodes.
This isn't. Yeah, I was gonna say these episodes so far, they haven't been like The Mandalorian, where we have all
Right.
sorts of Easter eggs and
Yeah.
deeper mythology being explored. They're really more relatable to the Clone Wars experience, where you touch on the story and then you
Yeah.
move on to things like bounty hunters.
Yeah, so there was a new issue of Star Wars Bounty Hunters last week, and this is the prelude that ties into War of the Bounty Hunters, the big overarching crossover that they're doing in the Marvel Star Wars comic books right now over the summer. And this one is about Valence, or Valence, I've heard people pronounce it that way. He's a bounty hunter he had interactions with Han Solo in the past. They went to the Imperial Academy together, and now he found out that Han is encased in carbonite and being transported by Boba Fett to Jabba's palace. But he kind of owes a debt to Han Solo because he tried to save his life. So he's going to try and help Han Solo, but first he has to find him. So this is about Valance and Dengar trying to track down Boba Fett, but then Forlom and Zuckuss come out of hyperspace and they're chasing them, continuing from a previous issue. And then we also get a bunch of flashbacks to another encounter that Valance had with Han Solo, where he was actually hired to assassinate him and decided not to at the last second because of this debt that he owes to him. So they're just kind of fleshing out this relationship that he has with Han. Zach asked if you think Vader will show up in War of the Bounty Hunters. Yes, because actually this week, Wednesday, the Darth Vader issue comes out that ties in with War of the Bounty Hunters. So I'll be reviewing that on laughingplace.com. But yeah, all the current Star Wars comics except for the High Republic will be crossing over with War of the Bounty Hunters. So yes, you can count on Vader making an appearance for sure. But yeah, this is pretty good. I think the Bounty Hunters comic has improved since it started. I thought so. They're doing a good job over there, and there's a lot of action in this issue. Sorry, and just a lot going on, and we get a cameo appearance by Han and Chewbacca in the flashback. So there you go.
Nice. Very, very nice. So it sounds like there was just a lot of different overlapping stories there.
Yes, yeah. I mean, I keep saying this crossover is more than 30 total issues. So, and it's just getting started. I think this is the third or fourth one, maybe. So, what's Vader's reason to get involved? Zach asked. He has bigger fish to deal with, like rebel Mandalorians. We're going to find out. We're going to find out this week why Vader is involved with the War of the Bounty Hunters. So stay tuned for that. I have not read that yet.
Over at in the world of Funko, we've had a few more Funko. Sorry if I get distracted every once in a while. My screens are periodically just going dark on me, and I'm not sure why. Do I disappear on you too?
No, you've been freezing a little bit, but I still hear you.
Okay, yeah. For whatever reason, my screens have decided periodically to just go totally dark. So,
okay.
But not disconnect me. So if you don't see me, just keep talking.
Okay.
we've got some new Funkos that have that are on the way. It's a pre-order situation.
Yeah, so it looks like Ahsoka, Din Djarin without the helmet on, carrying Grogu, Bo-Katan with or without the helmet, and then I guess is it Boba Fett or Timothy Oliphant?
Oh,
I can't tell.
I think it's Boba Fett.
It's either Boba Fett or Cobb Vanth. I think it is Boba Fett. I think you're right because he's got the black undershirt thing.
Yeah, I'll scroll down in our write up of it. Oh, I'll try to scroll down and see if it's listed as it seems to be Boba Fett based upon everything here.
Okay, and then who is that?
And then it's Grogu. And then we've got is it a Dark Trooper?
Dark Trooper, yeah. The robot ones, the droids.
Now, when I'm pretty sure this is the one where I saw Katie Sackhoff was super pumped that not only did they have a Bo-Katan with a helmet, but also an unhelmeted variety. So she was very, very excited about that appearance. And along with the Funko release, we also have this adorable animated short from the world of Funko based on The Mandalorian.
I totally meant to watch this before this stream, but I have been so swamped that I did not even I forgot. I honestly forgot. But you
It,
can. Did you watch it?
it's cute. I mean, it's just in essence, the Mandalorian, but in the realm of Funko-ness. So so they just have a little bit of fun. So yeah, give you a little taste of some of the silliness that you got going on. He's kind of cute. So yeah, so that's what's happening
Funko.
over with the Funko short, and you can see that on the Funko YouTube channel, and we have a write up and a few stills of it on laughingplace.com. Zach is asking when we get Mando. Do we know? Do we have any idea? Do
Well,
we
they
know when it's coming?
they've said the Book of Boba Fett is December, which to me means probably the last Friday in December, whenever that is. And that'll go for likely 8 weeks. And I think after that, Mandalorian is going to start, but we don't know for sure. Like, if that'll be immediately after or if they'll take a break. Because with some of the Marvel shows, they've been doing a week between them, and they'll have the behind the scenes documentary come out between the shows, like between WandaVision and Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So maybe they'll do the same thing with Star Wars, or maybe there'll be more of a break. We don't really know, but I think early 2022 is a good bet to get Mandalorian season 3, but they're being a little cagey about those details right now, especially now. I mean, we haven't really talked about this on Laughing Place at all, I don't think, but the rumor going around is that they've now abandoned this Rangers of the New Republic show that was supposed to be one of the spin-offs of The Mandalorian because of the firing of Gina Carano. So that could throw a monkey wrench into the whole plan. I don't know.
And then Zach's also talking about Ahsoka, and I know we're excited. We're all excited about that as well.
Yeah.
I'm When it comes to Lucasfilm, I am not. I don't. I don't tend to really. What's the word? Put a lot of weight into the rumor and whatnot, because things seem to be. It's a creative process, and things seem to adjust and adapt so frequently. You'll hear projects underway, and then next thing you know, the project's on hold or something. The leadership within it has changed or various things. So I tend to be more of the I wait till it's announced. And once they give me like an actual, it's coming on this date,
Yeah.
then I start to invest in it. Up until then, I'm kind of worried
Yeah.
whether or not I'll actually see it, like the Rangers of the Republic series. It's one of those where it was mentioned at the investors conference call thing that they did, that presentation, and then you didn't really hear much about it beyond that. And then now there's certain language that's being used regarding where it is in the process, and I'm not even sure if that's really a change from what it was, because it's one of those things where sometimes the language that's used within the development process, like oh man, I wish I could remember exactly what the language was, but it all happened around that situation where people noticed the title of Dave Filoni on Lucasfilm, and that became this big story. But it was
Yeah.
actually something that had happened previously. In fact, I shared it with our team at Laughing Place and asked, "Hey, is this new?" And I was told, no, that's actually something that took place last fall. I guess it's just catching people's eye right now.
Yeah.
And then a few days later, I saw in various entertainment publications that they were also, putting it within that context as well, that it wasn't a new title. So I guess for me, that's I'm more inclined to kind of wait and see Lucasfilm official announcements or whatnot, because it seems like so many changes and things can happen within the process. Oh, Zach's asking, did you read the Canon Last Padawan comics? Was that part of your reading back in the day?
I haven't read the Kanan comics. They came out before I was reviewing every issue of Star Wars comics, and at that point I wasn't too interested in like the prequel era stuff. I've heard they're good, and obviously now they're more in the spotlight because they have contextualized some of those events in the Bad Batch. I would like to, if I can get my hands on them. I know they're on the Marvel website or subscription service if you want to read them.
Okay.
But if they're ever reprinted, I might grab the trade paperback or something. But yeah, I would like to check that out. I have not
Yeah.
read them.
Yeah, I'll have to look because I was trying to remember if they had recently come under the Kindle Unlimited. I very much am enjoying. I am a Kindle Unlimited subscriber. You pay a monthly fee, and various Kindle titles become available. And in essence, you can hold 10 titles at a time. And it's not the entire Kindle Amazon library, but it's select ones. And recently, slowly, some certain Star Wars comic book titles make their way over to that Amazon Unlimited. So I've been catching up on some of the older comic books out there. Mike, I want to talk about that Mandalorian mug that's sitting on your desk. I'm guessing it was. I know you found it over on Batu.
Yeah.
We were there for streaming day.
Yeah, so I was at Disneyland on Thursday and wandered through the marketplace in Black Spire Outpost and came across this display. As in the Black Spire Outfitters, which I thought actually was pretty interesting because usually that shop is just for the high-end costumes. Like you get the Jedi robes there and other stuff like that. This display was more, it had the t-shirt there. You can see very subtle t-shirt with the Mythosaur skull design on it. And then you had this mug, which I've since now adjusted my theory about where this came from. I think now this may have been intended to be an exclusive mug for Oga's Cantina with some kind of Mandalorian drink that they were going to introduce, and that got kind of derailed by the shutdown and everything, because Oga's Cantina is still not even open here in California. So on the back it says Mandalore Outer Rim, but I don't know. I just have a feeling. The only thing that doesn't make me think that is it doesn't have like the first edition on the bottom like those mugs do. So
here's the photo that Mike tweeted as his evidence. The two on the outer edges of the picture are items he's picked up from Oga's, and he was like, "See, it fits. It's beautiful, like it was meant to be."
It's a similar size to those mugs. It feels like a similar quality as far as like the design goes and the sculpting goes and the paint job goes and stuff. So it wouldn't surprise me if this was planned as an Oga's Cantina mug. I don't know for sure. That's just my little pet theory. But I also picked up that same day over at the Toydarian toy maker next door. I got this guy, who is Doc Ondar, who is the proprietor of Doc Ondar's Den of Antiquities, the Ithorian animatronic that you can find in Galaxy's Edge. And now they've made him into a plush. There's the tag you can see. So I was super excited to grab that. And there's also a new Darth Maul and Jar Jar Binks. I think we have pics of that somewhere.
Yeah, I'll grab those for you.
We should go back to the other stuff at.
You want to talk a little bit more about the Boba Fett stuff?
Yeah, real quick. I forgot to mention there's also a new jetpack. This is mostly it's mostly kids sizes, I think, but the amazing thing about this is it has the rocket firing jetpack. So if you're a kid, you want to have that ability to role play as Boba Fett and fire that rocket out of the jetpack. It's now available to you at Galaxy's Edge. And there's a new Boba Fett shirt. And he also has the gauntlets there that fire. It looks like fires discs or something out of them. Which
That's amazing. Cool. That's so cool. Too much fun. Too much fun.
And then a helmet as well.
That does the voice changer.
I think this is one of those like 3/4 helmets. Doesn't go all the way around the back. As far as I could tell.
I would agree. I love how they make sure to have on here the note that masks, including the enclosed, are not allowed to be worn at any Disney theme park. So they make sure you can buy it here. You can't play with it here. You have to save it for home.
Right.
It's not you can't
Mask
cover
here,
up
but
your
not
face to that
mask here.
extent.
Yeah.
So I liked on the back of that mug. My cat has the Mandalore outer
Yep.
rim.
Hmm.
That's cool. Nice stuff. Here, let me scroll up to the other items while you show off your mug.
Sure.
Because they had a lot of plush that arrived. We had the Doc
Yeah.
Ondar, Jar Jar, Darth Maul.
Yeah. So those are the new plushes that you can get at the Toydarian Toy Maker, and then across in the creature stall. I called it a Loth cat, but apparently it's a Tuca. I got it wrong. So the Loth cat is a different one, although it looks exactly the same but different
Oh,
colors.
okay. Isn't that one of those things where there's like an overarching? One of them is the
Yeah.
overarching. I'm gonna get it wrong, but one of them is the overarching species, and then within that
Sure.
you have the other one can be. So
That sounds right to me. But anyway, on the tag, this says Tuca cat, not Loth cat, and it
okay,
is blue, and it's the same exact. I think it's the same shape and design except for the colors as the Loth cat. But there you go. You can get a Tuca cat now
yeah,
at the
because it's
creature
a
stall.
yeah, it's a specific breed of tuca is a Loth cat.
Okay.
So this is a tuca, and the other is a Loth cat, which is also a tuca.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Okay. I'll eventually learn that, but for now, I'm having to look it up.
It's already left my brain.
And then you have the
Oh yeah.
lava meerkat, which
This
we
is from the Mandalorian. It's the lava meerkat that Cara Dune plays with in that one episode.
mm-hmm,
And now
the
you can get it at the creature stall.
the Star Wars Timon, as our
Yeah.
teammates were calling him. So yeah, so those have made their way to the marketplace at Batu here on the West Coast.
Yep, there's mine. This is my Doc Ondar in front of the Millennium Falcon there.
Very, very, very nice. Also,
I just like when they make they're making toys out of the park characters, you know? Like I got the Lego set of the ITS shuttle and it came with Vi Marati and Lieutenant Beck, the Mon Calamari.
that's actually
So,
sitting in Gideon's room right next
yeah.
to his enormous transport from the Rise of Resistance attraction, and you can take out
Yeah.
the prisoner transport out of it.
I've been meaning to buy that too and I keep forgetting. Is that still
So
available?
I don't know, but that's sitting on the shelf. He has his Lego set and that vehicle sitting side by side by a Lego Ferris wheel, which throws the whole theme off. But you do what you can. Also, over at Disney's Hollywood Studios, the photo pass, they do these things they call like Tiny World, I think is what they're called. Yeah, the Tiny World Magic Shot, and you stand in a spot and then it does it in such a way that it's like a 360 image, and so you can do it there in front of the Star Tours attraction.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's been added over there at Walt Disney World. So just look for the Tiny World Magic Shot. And on our YouTube channel, we have a video taking a deeper look at the Galactic Star Cruiser. They have a model on display at Hollywood Studios and various concept art. So we've got a video over there, so you can take a look at that developing project. So as we wrap up, I'm gonna toss it over to Mike to talk about Who's the Boss Pod.
Oh yeah. Last week on Who's the Boss, we talked about Labyrinth as part of our Lucasfilm retrospective. Labyrinth, the Jim Henson film from 1986, starring David Bowie, Jennifer Connelly. There's a photo of George Lucas with David Bowie and Jim Henson there. And I had my friend Paul on the show to chat about that with me. He's a big fan of that film from when he was a kid. And I thought it was a great discussion. So yeah, it's like an hour and a half of me and Paul talking about Labyrinth. So and Star Wars. We touch on Star Wars a bit as well.
And today, my new D23 issue arrived. It's celebrating. Here, let me move this over. It's celebrating the Jungle Cruise, but as they've been doing, includes this Lucasfilm. They're including a poster in celebration of the Lucasfilm anniversary that the Who's the Boss podcast is also celebrating. There's a poster now that comes in your issue, and it has a collection of Lucas film posters from varying nations and whatnot. So you've got this Star Wars Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
So that's in the latest issue of D23 magazine.
Yeah, I saw someone else tweet that poster a few days ago, and I thought it was great because it represented all the stuff that I've been doing on the podcast. But also, I'm glad to see them put out some Lucasfilm 50th anniversary stuff that has other things besides Star Wars and Indiana Jones. Like, I feel like they've been ignoring some of that other stuff. So I'm glad that they acknowledged that Lucasfilm did a lot of stuff that was not Star Wars or Indiana Jones.
Yeah. So I suspect some people will be putting it who may not necessarily be a Lucasfilm aficionado, but our D23 members. Suspect you might find them on eBay as people separate out their.
I might frame that one to remember this year because I am doing the retrospective, but I think I might try to find a spot for that.
I like it, and it's cool because on the back of the image, on the front, you've got all the posters, but then on the back they do like I don't know how well it'll show, but it's like a little grayscale version of the poster.
Okay.
And then it offers you information about the film with the title of the film and the opening year, so that way you can have that reference on the back as well when you're looking at it, because maybe this title is too obscure and you're not versed in the language to know what you're looking at.
When did you get your issue? Because I haven't received mine.
I got it just this morning, just before.
Okay. So I'll get it any day.
So yeah, so yours should be coming soon. So with that, I think we are wrapped it up here at Omega Mondays. I know Mike Celestino will be back later with Disney Parks Talk Live. We will be discussing the latest headlines, including the virtual queue announcement for Web Slingers that's been posted this morning, and I'm sure many other exciting reports and news from the Disney parks here and around the globe, because they are beginning to have more and more information coming out from the other parks as well.
And this time I'll be prepared to talk about these guys again because they also come from the parks.
and later tonight, we are going to have our LP movie club, and tonight's movie is Tinkerbell and the Never Beast. And so you can join us as we chat about that movie. So thanks for joining us here at Omega Mondays, and we will see you next time. Bye for now.